and welcome back to part 2 of Neptunia Reverse, where today we're continuing our journey through Virtua Forest to get to the crash site, I guess you'd call it, of Neptune when she fell from the heavens. And along the way, I am still making a hell of a lot of adjustments to this new microphone. To put it bluntly, the audio quality I am receiving, like when I'm playing the games and whatnot, is better than my old mic, but the voice quality I'm delivering when I'm talking and whatnot is, no matter what I seem to be adjusting, just seems to be worse, which would be very disappointing if I can't find a way to address that, because I spent a good amount of money on this. But that's how it stands right this second. I am waiting on a converter to arrive, and I'm hoping that will do a lot of difference for me. What I mean is that this headset and every headset I've owned have all been headphone jacks based, so they plug straight into the controller. I'm getting a converter to make it a USB headset to then plug into the console directly instead of the controller to see if that makes a difference. If not, I might just have to throw in the towel and move back to my old microphone, which would be very depressing if so. But it will be what it is. But that being said, speaking of audio, I suppose, we've got a voiced cutscene because we're at the crash site now.
I can't remember a thing. Compa, are you sure I was stuck here?
Yes. You fell from the skies like a shooting star and landed right here.
Like a shooting star cutting through the night, right?
That's right.
What's the matter, Compa? Why'd you raise your voice?
It just struck me, but there could be a clue around here somewhere. Nep, did you lose anything by chance? Maybe an idea or anything?
I wish, but, I can't remember anything, so... Hey, wait! I do remember something I'm missing.
Really? What is it?
Well, that's obvious.
Obvious?
My memory. Wasn't that funny?
Nep, I don't think now is the time to be fooling around.
Wait, what? I thought you were joking when you asked me if I remembered.
Joking aside, let's look for some clues. What's that sound?
I have a bad feeling about this. What? The ground! It's crumbling!
We're
falling! Ouch! I didn't expect that. They really changed the story with this remake. Wait a minute. Where's Compa? Compa! Where are you? Are you all right?
Yessie. I think I'm okay.
Phew. It would have been a disaster if you lost your memory, too. Where are we, anyway?
I think we're beneath the forest. This place feels a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm getting bad vibes from this place. What's this? Compa, can you take a look? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. I've never seen something like this before.
I know. It must be a medal to change into items with a king somewhere. What? Where's that event flag-inducing growl coming from?
Nep! There's a huge monster over there! Please help me!
Oh no, Compa! She's being censored and censored!
I'm not being censored! I'm just off-screen, Nep!
Oh, fan service. Well, time to get a bit more serious now. Don't worry, I'll save you. Take this! What the? Wait, who just commented on my attack?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to surprise you, but I couldn't stop myself.
I've heard that voice before. Have we met?
I am Histoire. I thought I explained this when I was in your dream, Neptune.
Oh yeah, Ms. Heavenly Voice from my dream. Wait, that was real?
Nep. A little help here, pretty please.
Oh, right! I need to help Compa. Miss Heavenly Voice, can you help?
No, but if you use your hard drive divinity, things should be okay.
Hard drive what? I lost my memory, so do you mind taking it step by step?
I see. That explains why the conversation was all over the last time.
If I use that hard drive thingy, I can save Compa, right?
Well, yes. But now, I'm not sure you can use your hard drive divinity.
Well, I'll go beyond the impossible and kick reason to the curb. So, please, lend me a hand. I want to save my friend Compa.
I will force run hard drive divinity from you. Are you ready?
Ready and willing!
Neptune, may your power arise.
You're glowing!
Is this really me?
Yes, this is your true form, Neptune.
Nep. Wow, you transformed!
The power, it's flowing from within. There's no way I can lose with this. Just wait, Compa. I'll save you.
That theme that played when Nep transformed, I want to tell you what that track is so you can find it yourself and know whose theme it is. That's Nepgear's Victory theme.
I'll finish this.
That's the theme song they gave Nepgear in Neptunia Victory, the third title of the series. I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what? This is an amazing track. I just thought it was the, because like my introduction to Neptune was through Neptunia Rebirth 1, and they made Nepgear's Victory theme play in that as well for the same scene. So I just assumed it was like a track for the game, to later find out, no, it's a track from Victory, and it's for one of the most like wholesome flower girl characters there is. I was like, okay. But once you've gained access to that power, the fight is kind of a joke. Break its guard once and immediately go into the cross-cut, like her special as soon as you get the chance, and the fight goes down. Nep, whose voice is it and where is it coming from? It's Miss Heavenly voice, aka what was it again? Histoire. You're only off by one letter. That's right, Histy. You can call me Histy. Now, nice to meet you, Compa. I'm Histoire. Can I call you Histy too? It's nice to hear you, Histy. Compa? It's alive! Run, Compa! Yes! If they fell into this cave, how did they run out? What? Finally, got away. That was a close call. I can't believe it was still alive after all the damage it took. Oh, Histy, can you take a look at this? Do you know what this is? That's a key fragment. It's a piece needed to release me from my seal. You're sealed, Histy? Yes, can you release me? One of those in each land. I could, but I'd have to fight monsters, right? Isn't it dangerous? Yes, your life will be in danger. But if you can help lift my seal, I can in turn help you get your memory back. Really? Really. And anyway, I do need to get you your memory back. Well then, let good old Neptune search far and wide for those fragments. I'll help too. After all, I can't do as Nep alone with her brain loss. Memory loss, Compa, but thanks. Are you gonna be okay being away from nursing school? It's closed because of the monsters, so I'm okay. Thank you, but what? I'm having trouble hearing you. Histy, is that static that bad? I'm using fragment of time. I think I lost contact. I hope Histy's alright. Well, at least we know how to get your memory back. Let's go, Nep. Sounds like a plan. Let's do this.
During battle, characters...
And now we've got access to HDD, or the hard drive divinity. Only goddesses can use this, so don't expect Compa to be using it anytime soon. It's essentially their transformation into their goddess form. So they have a human form and a goddess form. And so, as we saw, Nep transformed into Purple Heart, her goddess form. Which, if you've never played the Neptunia series before, just in case you needed any more of a giveaway, yes, you know, Lady Purple Heart, yet she is the goddess of Planetoon, she's just lost her memory. They don't really hide that. But it is a gameplay mechanic, and something that is interesting how it's handled in the earlier games compared to the later ones, where they make it a lot more balanced in the later ones. Had I have a good chance to look, this is a really huge city. Planetoon is the most advanced city out of the 4 lands. Ah, so that's why you have that super yummy pudding. You can find them anywhere. Well, never mind. Hey, did you hear about that rumor? You mean the one about the newly discovered cave under the forest? Well, not all. I heard the place is infested with monsters. Everyone's saying that the place must be a breeding place for the monsters. You gotta be kidding. Breeding, that sounds kinda cool. Yeah, and the guild is looking for people to check the place out. Seriously? I thought the CPU would do something about it. Compa? Nep, do you mind if we do something before we leave? Don't tell me. About that cave they were talking about? Yeah, he will clatty me once they'll planet on the goddess. Well, let's go to the guild instead of shopping then. Are you sure? You stayed by me, so it's my turn to follow you instead, you know.
Use plans you've collected.
And now you'll also introduce us to plans. Plans are how you unlock extra dungeons, unlock specific things for the shop, and certain modifiers. It's a franchise-wide thing. Like, one of the most significant plans in most of the Neptunia games is when you get the one to double the height of your jump on the field, because there's a lot of dungeons that have high ledges you just can't jump up. So the moment you get that, a good half of this game of optional content just opens up. But plans are split into 3 groups: items, dungeons, and systems. Items are more often than not things that will be added to the shop once you develop it. To develop any plan, you need materials that you usually get from dungeons. So exploring like rigorously in dungeons will be a very helpful thing for you to do. Dungeons can be alterations to dungeons that already exist, or unlocking new ones entirely. The 2 alterations you'll usually come across is item change and enemy change. Item change will just change the generic items you'll find around the field to different things, which can lead to different resources. If you're trying to 100% this game will very quickly turn into a guide game, because you'll need to know where very specific resources are, and some of them are like one specific dungeon with its item change enabled, you will get it, or something like that. This is me showing off purple art in the background. Like most Let's Plays where I do a turn-based JRPG, this is post-recording, so I'm talking as a previous me plays in the background. But the other thing you can do is straight up unlock new dungeons. And changing enemies usually replaces enemies with stronger ones, but it can also lead to different variants of enemies that also have their own unique items tied to them. So once again, something that will eventually become guide necessity if you're going for true 100%. And optional dungeons, the way I will plan to do that, or the way I'm intending to do that, is do the main plot of a country, and then when the plot moves on to another country, then go back to that previous one and clear out as many optional dungeons as I can. With the intention being that yes, there will be a lot of one-off videos where we're not advancing the plot, but when we get to endgame, there isn't like 6 or 7 videos of cleanup, because I've done a lot of it as we've gone. It's done. You're used to this, aren't you? Did you use the guild often? Yep, more for volunteering and things. This type is my first time for me. Well then, let's make this dungeon expedition a success. Yeah, let's do our best, Nep Nep. Doing dungeon expeditions will only ever remind me of Mystery Dungeon. but the guild is essentially your side quest domain. You can accept quests and report them in. Doing quests is a lot more worth it than just getting the rewards. It will also affect the share distribution across all countries. As I mentioned before, your shares will affect the power of your goddesses. So in Planetoon's case, the higher Planetoon's share is, the better Purple Heart will be. She will get stronger on like a more general basis if that share is a higher percentage. It's not just based on level. Level will still be the biggest factor, but it can just turn the tide in subtle ways to lean it one way or another. Which is why you're seeing that a couple of these quests have an RE on the end of them. That means redo, or redoable. Once you've done those quests, you can re-accept them to do them again to continue manipulating the shares. But as you can see, there is a 5th group. There's 4 countries, but there's a 5th group. That 5th group is others. Others is basically bad guys. To get the true ending of the game, the others needs to be at 0. I will be showing off both endings of the game because unlike the sequel, the Net 2, it's very easy to get both endings in the game in one run. Essentially, you leave a save point before the final boss, and then you just go and change shares in side quests, and then fight the final boss and get your ending, and then load that save and do the other one. And there's only 2 endings, so that's fine. We've also unlocked the fishing pond, which is exclusive to Reverse, the PS5 exclusive version we are playing. Which is, it's fine. The only problem with it is that if you're going to see me spend a lot of time fishing. Well, I say I'm going to do a lot of fishing off screen. But fishing is a very convenient and consistent way of getting very good equipment earlier than you probably should have. So I'm going to do a bit of fishing during this, and you're going to see for yourself what I mean. At the end of this video, I end up getting a weapon for Nep, Compa, and another party member that we've yet to see, and all of them are really strong. But they're stronger than what you can get at the shop right now. and it ends up making the next area we're going to, that monster cave, not a joke, but certainly a lot easier than intended.
You can fish without it, but you'd be missing.
But here's how it's explaining. There's fishing rods and there's bait. Your fishing rods won't be a thing to worry about too much anytime soon, because you're kind of stuck with the one you've got for a long while, whilst bait can be very helpful. There's cheap bait that you can always buy from the store, and later on there'll be other variants that will catch very exclusive fishes. You can also fish up exclusive baits if it so works out so. The way fishing works is that you throw it in the line, when there'll be like little splash effects and you can feel it in your controller. Once the bait's completely pulled down, there'll be like a huge splash effect. Hit R2 and it's on. On the center of the screen, or top center of the screen, you'll see two basically health bars, your own and the fish. Their bar has to run out before yours does, but both are always ticking down. Holding R2 will reel it in, but it will cost more of your health if the fish is fighting you more. So you need to tire it out before you reel it in, so you can hurt its stamina more than it hurts yours. The first fish I catch is one of the biggest fish in this lake, so I lose this. Big time. You wait for it to come down. Look how much my stamina is going down compared to it. I was never going to win. If you lose a fight against a fish, it will turn into an enemy, hop out and fight you. Because of course it does. So the angered fish is attacking you. And to add more to it, the fight in question is against that mini-boss that we fought when we broke into the monster cave. So I immediately transformed, because it's like, no, we won't win if I don't transform. Because this thing is intended to be a kind of scripted fight with Purple Heart. Compa won't stand a chance at this stage in the game. So I have Compa top up Nep and just make sure that Nep keeps functioning so she doesn't get one shot. Something that is a worthwhile strategy that you will want to pay attention to is when you're trying to break the guard points of an opponent so you can hurt them more. The turn that their guard is completely broken, when it is next their turn, they will recover a percentage of it. So what might be an idea is, say you're on the last character before it's the enemy's turn and their guard is nearly broken. Instead of breaking it, hold off so they don't get the recharge on their bar, because their bar won't recharge between turns unless it's broken. So if it's on like a couple pixels left, especially, leave it, don't attack, let the enemy attack, and then when it's next your guys' turns, right from the start go all in, because you'll break that guard in one strike. But now here's me showing how fishing should work. If you wait for it to calm down, then start reeling in. To throw the line out or to pull it back in, there isn't a button for it. It's using the axis on the controller. You have to actually flick your wrist with the controller to make Nep throw it out. And depending on the angle of how you flick it and the forcefulness of how you flick it will affect where it lands in the water. It's just their way of saying, hey, look at this PS5 tech. Oh, whilst fishing it out is that once its health bar hits 0, you flick the controller up and you will yank the fish out the water to get it. The fish we just caught there was a Mega System fish, which is, as far as I'm aware, only intended for you to sell. There are fishes named after Sega consoles in here, and all of them are just cells. You see there, I fished up an armlet, which is actually pretty good. The fish will always reset, so if you clear up the lake, leave and then re-enter, and there will be more fish. But for the sake of showcasing it but not staying too long, the 5 bait I brought with me are the only 5 I use before I leave it, and any fish that you'll see beyond here is only if something interesting happens. Case in point, we just fished up a unique bait. We fished up a hardcore bait fish, which is a fish that whatever it catches will always be an item for the museum, or a significant collectible to some extent. Essentially, it's just not going to be a normal fish or another bait, it's going to be an item that you'll probably appreciate. So if you get one of them, use it on a small fish. Because here, we got a reverse new BGM. In the museum, you will have access right from the get-go to the entirety of the original and Rebirth 1's soundtrack. However, there are exclusive remixes and exclusive tracks to Reverse that they added that aren't on there. You have to unlock them, and you unlock them, as far as I'm aware, only from fishing. The reason why you're going to hear a lot of, as far as I'm aware, with it is because in truth I have yet to actually finish Reverse in any form or capacity, because I am basing my entire experience knowledge off of Rebirth 1. when I brought this game, and got that day 1 on it, I got as far as finishing chapter 2 before I went back to recording Nocturne, because I knew I needed to get that done. And then afterwards I was like, no, I've got my practice, and it is very much Nep 1 with more bells and whistles, so I know what I'm doing. But if you access the museum, it's slight spoilers, but you see Noir, and if you've been with the Nep series for a long time, like, that's not spoilers at all. You know who Noir is. But you see Noir in glasses, which is I always prefer Noir in glasses. I think she just looks cuter with it. But this is your museum screen. They actually did exclusive artwork for the shop, the guild, and the museum in this game, in this version. Which is why when you go to the shop, you see Compa. When we go to the guild, you see IF, or Iffy. And in the museum, we see Noir. And from here, this is me showcasing a little bit. You can listen to a lot of the soundtrack that is already there. And eventually I skip through to show that there is a few tracks we unlocked, which is EXE Drive. EXE attacks, or EXE Drive attacks, are exclusive, like, ultimate strikes that we won't have access to for a good long while. In Reverse, they made it so characters will have their own exclusive track depending on what group they fit into. Goddesses, the sisters, so like Purple Sister, Black Sister, Rom and Ram. And then I believe another one for the Oracles, but I might be mistaken on that. Because Oracles are unlockable in this, and then there's a few others for very specific cases and characters. But Black Brave, I love that track, it's a great track. And for some reason, Yellowheart's theme is unlocked by default in this listing. It's just down there. And now here's Scenarios. You can actually view the entirety of the game again through that, but you have to fish them out. That cut there was me grinding, well, not grinding as in going for experience, but going back and clearing the side quests I can in Virtua Forests, because I also did the item change there so I could get some unique resources. You're going to be seeing that a heck of a lot in this, because there are a lot of exclusive resources that become very helpful throughout your journey. It's something that you feel a lot more in Victory. Victory, that game can turn very grindy in terms of getting resources because of just how many there are. You didn't read the fine print, did you? Oh, come on, no one reads the fine print. Never have, never will. That's nothing to brag about. It looks like we have to check on the monsters and what they're doing. Speaking of monsters, that huge monster is somewhere out here, right? A lot of other people came here already, so I'm sure it went away. Whew, that's a relief. No way I want to see that thing again. But welcome to the first cave, the Monster Cave. Which, yes, I know is a generic name, but it's the first cave of the game, come on. Which has a lot of Pac-Man ghosts in here. There's the Neptunia series at large, if you've not been with me for a while, or like been with the channel since I did Nep V2R, the 4th game, is littered to the brim with video game references. It is kind of its MO across the entire franchise. They make 1,000,001 references to everything they possibly can, because the world's called game industry. The 4 goddesses represent each of the 4 consoles that existed in their primes. Like Neptune being Sega, Noir being PlayStation, Vert being Xbox, and Blanc being Nintendo. And when they transform, their designs, their goddess designs, is reminiscent or referential to consoles. With Neptune, it's referencing the Mega Drive. With Noir, it's referencing, in this game, the PS3. In later revisions, it becomes the PS4, but in this game, in the first game, it's referencing the PlayStation 3. In the same vein, Vert references the 360, and Blanc references the Nintendo Wii, which is why her costume is all white.
It's getting darker the deeper we go.
Nep Nep? Where are you? It's so dark. I can't see you, Nep Nep.
Oh, come on, Compa. It can't be that bad. But I guess it could be dangerous, so be careful. No telling what's around.
What? Nep Nep, are you okay? If you fall into a pit, it could be game over.
I think something ran into me. Hey, it's dark, so be careful.
Ow! Watch it, girl! Wait, what are kids like you doing here?
Me? A kid? Speak for yourself. You're a kid too. Who are you?
I'm IF. Let's just say I'm the Wind Walker of game industry. Huh?
You're the wild talker of game industry?
Windwalker. I travel the world, making a living working with the guild. Enough about me. What are you girls doing out here?
We came for the guild too. Oh, and I'm Neptune, and she's Compa.
Nice to meet you. I'm Compa.
You've gotta be kidding. You girls are working for the guild too?
Sure. Nice to meet you too. Well, we can handle ourselves, you know.
Really? Even with all the monsters roaming around here? Don't tell me. You didn't look at the fine print before taking the work.
Nep, that can't be. Not again!
What should we do, Compa? It's got to be looking for me.
What? You girls know what that is?
Yes. Nep sandbag Mr. Monster really good.
What should I do? It's gotta be looking for revengeance.
Hard to believe, but if you can fight, I'm gonna need you both to help.
Nep, we have to beat Mr. Monster for the sake of Planetoon.
Okay, let me go super mode from the beginning then.
I'm ready now.
What? What just happened? Wait, you're huge! Like, all over!
Surprise! Nep can change form. Nep is really strong like this.
Well, now do you believe me that I beat that monster once before?
Do I even have a choice? It's harder not to believe now.
So, want to get it on, do you? Well, the feelings are mutual. I'm gonna have to take you down to stop any more casualties.
Mini boss round 2 with this guard vermin.
My turn.
But now we have a full team of 3 because we have IF with us. Or, as everyone knows her as, Iffy. And it's what I'll be calling her from now on. She's Iffy. No one calls her IF, even though that's her name. Iffy is an amazing party member to have at this stage of the game. Which, if you watch my V2R Let's Play, you might be surprised to hear from me. Because I was very critical on Iffy and Compa in that game. And it's because this is the game where they actually know they're going to be mandatory party members for a good stretch. Especially if you're not playing arranged mode, if you're playing original mode or, you know, any previous re-release. This party you see here is kind of your main MO party for a long stretch. It's not the whole game, but you will have these 3 for a long while. Which was fine when the game first came out because you only could have a maximum party of 3. Everyone else had to be benched if you got any more. So making it so it was Nep, Compa, and Iffy just worked out. No problem. I was the one who let it go in the first place. Still, so that's some transformation. You're looking like a different person. I was surprised the first time I saw it too. Phew, I'm beat. Nice fight, Nep. You were really cool. Oh, stop flattering me. Really, it's hard to believe you're the same person. Oh yeah, Iffy? How about joining our party while we're at it? Iffy? Me? Iffy? Yup, IF equals Iffy. Sounds a lot cuter too, don't you think? Iffy. Wait, you don't like it? Oh, were you teased by kids with that name? No, I was never teased with my name before. Just call me whatever you want. Okay, then I'll call you Iffy too. And I'll call you Iffy free. Now then, do you want to come with us? Having a pro like you would be cool. Well, why not? As they say, the more the merrier. Great, well, I hope we become best friends, Iffy. Sure, looking forward to it.
When you learn a new
The reason why I said Iffy is great for this stage in the game is because she's got very good physical damaging stats and has a good magic attack. She starts with Demon Flames, which is basically like a fire attack that has range. So if there's enemies that are close to it, it will hit several. It has quite a chunky MP cost, costing around 300, which at this stage in the game basically means if you can use it twice. So don't save it for bosses or difficult encounters. Don't just spam it because you will not be able to use it much. But additionally, if you're paying attention to her experience, you might be able to make something out of it. What I mean of this is that every time you level up, you get a full HP and MP restore as you do. We've also now unlocked EX finishes. Once you have a party of 3, the EX bar is unlocked. Essentially, when you do rush attacks, when you do any attacks it builds up, but rush attacks build it up far quicker than anything else, which is why triangle attacks exist. Because then, basically, the higher your hit count, the faster it builds up the EXE bar, which you can now see above our menu in the corner. Where it's like center right now, but it's above the menu screen. When we do triangle attacks, which right currently on net there isn't any, you have high hit counts, and hits are what add to the bar. And so you can build it up very quickly. Once it's filled up, we will have one EXE drive, which will allow us to do EXE finishes. EXE finishes are essentially a 5th hit added to your combo. You do your initial attack, you do your 3 combo strikes, and then it'll come up saying EXE list, and you can press a button depending on what you have it set it on to do exclusive skills. Additionally, when Lily ranks get introduced, which is essentially like friendship ranks, you will gain access to exclusive skills by buddying up people. So, to give an example, Iffy might have a skill that will say Lily rank 2, and it will be a skill name. That essentially means if she is tied to someone as an assist and not a main party member, if their Lily rank hits rank 2, which Lily ranks go up naturally by having people assisted with each other, they will just become closer. Once they hit rank 2, that character will have access to Iffy's skill, and will be able to use it through the EXE finishes. If you use an EXE finish, it does not pull away anything from the bar. However, when you leave a dungeon, your EXE bar will always reset, so you have to build it back up when you re-enter. So if there's a particular fight you're struggling with, go back and build up your bar so you can get that extra strike in. But over here, we gain access to some plans surrounding the monster cave, and we'll soon actually get one to unlock an entirely optional dungeon. But I'm going to start wrapping up here. You're going to see me do a bit of shopping, but we're not going to proceed any further with the monster cave today, because I want to, after Nocturne had a lot of 50+ minute videos, I want to kind of pull it back to the length they used to be, even though I have to be kind of forceful on it. So as much as I want to carry on doing it, keeping videos between 25 minutes to 35 minutes is what I want to aim for. Because 50+ minutes is a very big ask, in my opinion. As someone who is a viewer and not just a... I don't just do things, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Sometimes 50 minutes is just too big of an ask to just dedicate the time to do, and I get it. So I just want to make the videos more compact while still delivering on content. But to wrap up here, all you're going to see for the rest of it is my fishing efforts, because I did a little bit more, and I got a new sword for... Well, I got a new weapon for all 3 of the characters here. So I'm going to wrap up. Next time on Neptunia Reverse, we're going to continue our journey through the monster cave to do what we can for the guild, and maybe see if we can learn a thing or two while we're at it. But until then, you guys take care now. Peace.